Hello and welcome to ActiveGrowth. If you're new to this site, this video is for you. And if you've returned and you're wondering why is this suddenly called ActiveGrowth, this is also for you. So we've rebranded this site from I Am Impact to ActiveGrowth. And on the one hand, we did this because I Am Impact just wasn't a great brand name to begin with. And so it was kind of due for a name change. But also we did it now because we want to restart this website. Over the years, a lot has happened on this site, and you can see that by going through the pretty long log of the blog posts. And there's been some things that have made this site special that I want to bring back. On the one hand, that is very in-depth, brutally honest product reviews for online marketing tools. That is something that I think brought unique value, and those are my review posts, especially my roundup reviews, have always been the most popular posts here. This is something I want to bring back because it's still just incredibly difficult to find anyone doing really detailed and also honest reviews of this type of product. So that's something you can expect more of as ActiveGrowth gets started. Another thing we want to bring back is the anti-clickbait type of post. So most blogs, and perhaps especially marketing blogs, are always trying to get as many clicks as possible, to get as much traffic as possible, and always have the sexiest, most attractive headlines. And that dictates a lot of the content, right? You try to create the content that appeals to the most people, that will get social shares and so on. And if you look through the older posts on this site, you'll see that that's not the case here. We often cover unsexy kind of things, which might seem dry or technical, but it's the sometimes uncomfortable truth of what it really takes to make an online business work. And that is another thing that we want to bring back. Now, as you've heard, I've been using we instead of I, and that's one of the other things that's different about ActiveGrowth. The reason this site has kind of suffered and been on and off over the years is because depending on how busy I was with other stuff, I just didn't have any time to write here. And this is something I want to change. If I want to bring this back, it can't just be reliant on just me. So there's going to be a whole team of people involved in bringing content and value through this site. Now with this team, one of the things I'm really excited about launching, and I will talk about this in more detail in the future, but here's the teaser. We're starting a new podcast. And this podcast is going to be different from, other marketing podcasts. And if you listen to marketing podcasts, you probably know what I mean when I say they're all kind of the same. They all have basically the same format. You know what to expect, right? Well, we're doing an experiment. We want to see if we can do a marketing podcast that is totally different, that totally breaks this pattern, and see if we can make it successful. And one of the things we want to do differently with this podcast is we want it to not just be a monologue. We don't want it to just be something you kind of passively consume. We want to make this podcast as relevant and as useful as possible to you. And to make this happen, we need your interaction. So if you like the sound of this and if you're on board with this, right now below this video you can fill out a form to let us know that you would be willing to get on a short call with us. So you'd get on a call with either me or one of the team members, and we'd have a short discussion about just to figure out where you're at with your business, what kind of the things you struggle with, what you've tried, what's worked, what hasn't, this kind of thing. And this will help us figure out exactly what kind of content to create and how we can help solve exactly your problems. And if you do this, you even have a chance to be featured in one of our future podcast episodes. So more details to come soon, but in the meantime, if you're on board, fill out the form below. And also there's a comment field below where you can let us know what you think about the idea of launching ActiveGrowth.